Sure will.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right. Say, there, Dusty, did you notice that there's something here on your hip looks sort of like a firearm?
Oh, I ain't a firearm.
Well, there's a sign over here that says you're supposed to check all firearms at the door.
Oh, well,
Okay.
this ain't a firearm. It's my,
It ain't? I mean, what is it?
Well, it's my, my cell phone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right, Dusty.
Good.
All right, Dusty. Listen, I can hear you, but I'm also seeing something else here on the back. It looks like bullets.
Oh! Well, that ain't bullets.
Yeah.
No, it's my Dale Evans chapstick collection. Got it from Mary Kay, working on my pink horse.
He also sees pink elephants. Okay, well, as long as you're here, I guess you might as well. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our next guest, will you?
All right, I think I'll do that. All right, well, our next guest is, he gives me great pleasure to not just a little indigestion, to introduce to you at this time our head cook for tonight's dinner. Friends, will you please give him a very warm Western welcome to that caustic and charismatic Cadillac of the cooksters, that soup-stirring, steak-slinging, snake-sauteing, galloping gourmet to the gunslingers, Mr. Sal Grubby Manella. Come on out, Mr. Grubby. I'm sure it is. Hey, what's in the bag, Grubby?
Well, around here we call that dinner.
Dinner.
Or supper, as the case may be.
And
Yep.
what do we have for dinner tomorrow night?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to cook us up a batch of fresh grilled pheasant.
Oh boy, fresh cooked pheasant. Sounds good.
Yeah, I know it's fresh. I just peeled it off the grill of one of these vehicles out here.
Right. Fresh.
Yeah.
Well, are you happy with the preparations we're making beforehand?
Yeah, pretty much, except somebody went out and bought a whole batch of this here green stuff.
Well, they probably wanted to make sure they had, all the basic food groups involved,
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Sonny, where I come from, we feed the green stuff to the cows. And besides, I always make sure I have food from each of the 4 basic food groups.
4 basic food groups.
That's right.
And what would those be in your book?
Well, let's see. Bacon, beans, taters, and lard.
That sounds good. All I have to say was that some feast you had cooked up for us tonight, and I was hungry as a horse before we had it. Could have eaten one too.
Yeah? You wouldn't have been the first one around here to do that.
What was that?
Oh, nothing.
At any rate, that was some supper you cooked tonight. That blue stuff sure has a lingering taste.
Now, this thing is not on.
I didn't do
Turned
it.
on, but I think the battery died.
You blaming me?
Yeah.
Well, it's all because I'm fat,
They
isn't
don't
it?
make them like it. What?
It's all because I'm fat, and you're blaming me because of the mic. It's all because I'm fat, isn't it?
No, it's because you're stupid. That's all right. I'll just, here, oh, thank you. Thank you, Darla.
Look at me, young Wallace, baby doll, aren't you? Thank you. That's fine. Oh, no, that's fine. I'll just hold on to it. Dude. That's fine, sweetheart. What are you doing after the show?
Oh boy, I know what I have to put up with.
Well, anyway, where were we in the script?
That blue stuff sure has a taste that keeps on giving.
Oh, the blue stuff.
The blue stuff.
You mean the meat?
The blue stuff. The meat?
Yeah. Yeah, it has the taste that keeps on giving.
I noticed.
That was my line. You just stole it from me.
Yes, we're And that was the meat? Well, what kind, dare I ask?
What kind of meat?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Whoever brought it in here left all the identifiable parts on the road.
Okay, moving on. And while we're on the subject of meat, what's the deal with this, or food? What's the deal with this table service? I mean, look at this fork. It's got something on it. It's not even clean.
Well, I tell you what, out here on the prairie, we have kind of limited resources, you see. And I'm afraid that's just as good as cold water can do.
And this plate looks like it has some of this morning's pancake and tonight's beans on it.
Yeah, well, like I said, out here on the prairie, you know, that's just as good as cold water can do.
And how about this coffee cup, though? It's just, I don't even know what that is. Was it coffee?
As I said, that is as good as cold water can do.
Whose dog is that?
Oh, he's mine. Shut up, cold water! Quit your barking, go get it!
All right. Well, with that in mind, I almost hate to bring up the next subject. How do you get the coffee to have a, well...
Give it time.
I guess a full body flavor.
Is that a little rich for your city-wide taste, is it, Mr. Dusty?
Well, let's look at it this way. It's like the White River back in South Dakota, you know, where you were born.
Yeah.
It's too thick to drink and too thin to plow.
Well, I bet you'd like to know how I make this stuff, huh?
Yeah, how do you make this stuff?
Well, I take me a coffee pot, and I put in a little bit of water and a whole lot of coffee grounds.
That's obvious.
Most of the folks that make coffee, the way they err is that they're a little too generous with the water, let's put it that way, okay? So I put her in there and I put it on the fire to boil, and I boil it for a couple of hours, and then I throw in a horseshoe, minus the horse, of course.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And if it floats, I know the coffee's ready to drink.
Right.
I said if it floats, I know, yeah, that's a little better. About 2 o'clock this morning, they'll be just laughing their heads off. By the way, you better drink that stuff pretty quick there.
Why, before it cools?
No, before it eats through the bottom of your cup.
Well, Grubby, tell us about some of your other favorite recipes. I understand you make a pretty bold pot of chili.
Oh yeah, I sure do. I tell you what most people here in the East calls chili is like dishwater compared to the chili that I make. And I'll tell you the recipe for it. I take me a pot of water and I soak some pinto beans in it.
Pinto beans.
Put it on the pot to boil, and then I add me 5 pounds of onions, 5 pounds of chili peppers, 5 pounds of jalapeno peppers, 5 pounds of habanero peppers, that's the hot one.
Good ones, too.
And a bay leaf.
Bay leaf.
Yeah, you know, for flavor.
Right.
And then I add my secret ingredients.
Secret ingredients.
Yeah. You won't tell anybody, will you?
Are we going to tell anybody?
All right.
I figured.
All right. I throw in a quart of either homemade corn squeezins or kerosene, whichever you happen to have on hand. Then I put it in the pot, let her boil for several hours, usually about 16 hours, until either it melts the pot or whatever, it's done.
Whatever it's done, right. That sounds downright tasty. Yeah, that's the ticket. What do you call this concoction?
Well, I calls it Grubby's famous TV dinner chili.
TV dinner chili.
That's right.
And, I'll buy it. What does the TV stand for?
Totally volcanic.
Grubby, I would not eat that with your mouth. Alright, we're gonna have to cut that.
Yeah, that has to come out of the script. delivery. Yeah, you need to ask
How
me
in
a
the
question.
world? Well, how do you eat that stuff?
Very carefully. And you have to be careful after you eat it, too. They're sharper than I thought. Yeah, well, I tell you what happened to me one time. I made up a big batch of my chili, and I was with a herd out near Cheyenne, Wyoming. You know where that is?
Yeah.
I was with this herd out there, and I cooked up a big batch of my chili, and I ate a whole bunch of it. And well, I guess I must have burped in the night, because I woke up in Amarillo, Texas.
Cheyenne, Wyoming, to Amarillo, Texas.
Don't beat a dead horse.
That's a lot of miles. They're going to burn and I can't have
You know what the difference is between one of them burps and a saloon?
No, no.
Well, one of them's a bar room and the other's a baroon.
I have to ask, what's the point of making something so unstable?
Well, I tell you what, every fall I used to make up a big batch of my chili to get me through the cold winter months ahead.
And did it keep you warm until spring?
No, but it sure kept me unconscious all winter long.
Oh, okay, Grubby. What are some of your other specialities, I guess you'd call them?
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad you asked because I just happened to bring along a brand new copy of my brand new book, Grubby's Complete and Comprehensive Compendium of Collected Cattle Country Cuisine, Calamitous Campfire Concoctions, and Combustible Cowboy Cookery by Grubby Manella. That's me.
Combustible.
Yes, we're going to be selling these over here at the concession stand following the show for just $29.95, $99.95. So pick up your copy today. And it has all of my favorite recipes. For instance, it has this one here, which is one of my favorites. Roast rump of raccoon. Very tasty.
Roast rump of raccoon.
Yeah.
And what does that taste like?
Well, I don't know. I think it has a chickeny flavor.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and here's another one. This is, I make a mean barbecued brisket of badger.
Barbecue brisket of badger.
Yeah, that's right.
And the flavor is somewhat like
Like chicken. It's
chicken.
somewhat like chicken. And oh, I have a great recipe in here for cream. I always do that wrong. It's stewed cream of sand toad. Who wrote this thing anyway? Stewed cream of sand toad.
Stewed cream of sand toad, like the ones that hop along the river that we like to
That's
blow
right,
apart.
yeah.
And the flavor was what? Tastes like what?
It's poultry-like.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and let's see. Here's my parboiled prairie dog pie. It's one of my favorites.
Prairie dog pie.
Yeah.
And the flavor would be...
It's chicken-esque.
Gotcha. I'll try that one.
And also I do have in here a whole section on my southern fried chicken.
Southern fried chicken.
That's right.
The flavor, I would assume, would be chicken, right?
No, I think it tastes a little bit like rattlesnake myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sound